Well, hello. Didn't quite see you there. My name is Joshua Van Sanford, and I'm a history and writing tutor here at the Pikes Peak Community College Learning Commons. And I typically can help students with really any history course. I actually will help with any of the classes and courses at the college, and really any paper brought to me, any piece of writing I can help with. History is a pretty, and writing when it comes to the tutors is pretty broad. We actually are pretty open to any kind of papers, biology, science, mathematics, if it even existed. Now, when it comes to history as a class, you're gonna want to be ready for a good amount of reading, a good amount of writing, and a good amount of lectures. Now, those lectures are gonna vary between each professor, between PowerPoints and videos, even sometimes just straight talking. Some professors tend to just come out and tell you the straight facts. And I know a lot of students have an experience with history being quite boring. Maybe in high school you heard it's just reciting dates and names and dates and names, which honestly is what most people tend to think. But when you come to PPCC and you take a history course, you're going to find out it's very different. There's going to be a lot more reading, and it's going to be on stuff that's more interesting and more captivating, at least in my opinion, than you probably experienced. Now, a lot of those readings are going to be dense, so what I really recommend for students when they're coming into history, when you're starting to do new historical courses, or really any of your courses with heavy writing and reading, is get organized right from the start. Write down those dates of when those readings are due, and make sure you keep up on them. If you get behind your readings, it will start throwing you off. And sometimes it might feel like, I don't need to read all this, and you really don't. What I recommend when you're reading your texts and you're doing your studying for history, for English, for these dense materials, break it up. Find strategies to make the reading a little bit easier. Don't read every word and burn yourself out. It can be pretty difficult to have to do all of those words, hundreds and hundreds of pages. And same thing with writing. Give yourself breaks when you're doing those big papers. Take a step back, do a nice 10, 20, 30-minute walk around your apartment, around your house, around the block, anything you can do. That can be pretty mind-blowingly effective at changing how you start some of these projects and how you see yourself, because you might come back completely refreshed. I often do, especially when I'm trying to do a heavy amount of writing for some of these history courses that I take. On that note, if you are a history major in the college, then I really recommend you get the best, the Rampola's Pocket Guide to History. That'll be your best friend. And if you're not a history major, if you have to write in Chicago, it's really helpful. And Chicago is complicated. People hate Chicago style of writing, and I get it. It is complicated, but you learn to love it. Now, you might have a course that you struggle with when you come to this college, and it might be history. If it is history, that's okay, because everybody has strengths and everybody has weaknesses when it comes to courses. Mine, my experience here at PPCC was with math, actually. And I feel like a lot of students could probably empathize with that and understand that if they're more writing inclined or interested in the humanities and history like I was. Now, I really came in thinking I was going to fail. I came in thinking that I wouldn't make it through a math course like that. But honestly, all I had to do was, find out where those resources were that could help me and learn that there were people there that wanted me to succeed, that my professor wanted me to succeed. I had tutors and friends and study groups, things that were there to keep me from failing entirely. And, a part of what your journey here, when you get through a difficult class, when you have a professor that's difficult, or just you're struggling a little bit throughout some of these courses, is to really look for those resources, because a lot of the times there is something there or someone there who can be that last line of defense before you want to, take that next step and drop out or move on or take a break from classes. Because sometimes you might be thinking, I can't make it, I can't do it. But you just didn't, find that resource, that person who says, yes, you can, or, let me help you. I got help from the tutors, actually, to make it through math. And they helped me. They actually taught me algebra from the bottom up. So there's a lot of things out there that can really be effective. So that's some information about me as a tutor here at Pikes Peak Community College at the Learning Commons. and a little bit of info about what I'm interested in, and maybe some tips that could help you out as well. Now, you can always come in into the Learning Commons, see me or any other writing, math, or any kind of tutor, any class you have, right at the Learning Commons at all 3 campuses, even online. We have a lot of resources that could help you out. And I can tell you, for history, there are a lot of benefits. There's a lot of great things found in that field of study. So I recommend, if anyone's interested, to come see me. We can talk about the degree, the major, anything else. If you're having a hard time with a history course, please, or any course at all, please look and see if there's some tutoring that can help you, or really just some sort of resources.